Are the Dallas Cowboys the NFC favorites? Did the Browns waste $230 million? And does Justin Fields actually have a point?
You know what? You're the starting quarterback of the damn Chicago Bears. Jim McMahon, that thing. You know what I'm saying?
This is Football Nation with Nate Burleson and your boy, Uncle Timmy. You may have heard of the Furious Five. Your Furious 15 of football starts now. Nate, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, Dennis Rodman, Madonna, Tom Giselle, Justin Verlander, Kate Upton, and Derek Jeter, and take your pick. Who is the greatest sports power couple of all time?
He said Derek Jeter and take your pick. Listen, if Travis Kelce,
we're happily married men, so we ain't one to gossip, right? But
of
Jeter
course,
did okay.
Of course. Yeah, Jeter had himself a lineup, as we call it in sports. But listen, if Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are actually talking, I'll go ahead and be a Swiftie or a Kelce. I don't know which one to call it, but I do know that is quite the power couple. You have a soon-to-be Hall of Famer, multiple Super Bowls, and Taylor Swift is going to go down as one of the greatest artists of her era, point blank, period.
Hustler, homie. Ask about her.
Facts.
Like
facts.
She's unreal. Like what she's been able to do, and like I mean, I tried to get tickets for my daughter in Toronto, and it is. I've never seen anything like this before in my life, Nate.
Listen, they are talking about her making $1 billion plus, and upwards to $2 billion on the tour. And Gayle King, who I do the morning show with, she said she went to the concert and it was a 4-hour show. I'm like, are you sure it was 4 hours? She said, no, like legit performed for 4 hours. That's longer than a Super Bowl, fam.
Yeah, that's crazy. I just saw we were in Detroit going to a Tigers game. Detroit, you got to say it like that. Detroit. We were in Detroit going to a Tigers game, and the Swifties were out going to Ford Field. Like that's full Ford Field, man. Like that's, you do the math, man. $2 billion.
Selling it out. So listen, if they're a power couple, I'm here for it.
Me too. All right. The couples haven't been a good significant other for a while now. Troy, Emmett, Michael, them boys, like that's almost 30 years ago. After a 2-0 start, outscoring the New York team 70-10. Nate Dogg, are the boys back?
Whoa. Is that what you do on the horse when you want to slow down? Whoa, hey, Cowboy. And this isn't me taking a shot at the Cowboys. Listen, they have everything they need. Dak's playing well. He's taking care of the ball. It seems like they are well-rounded on offense. They can go outside. Of course, they can pound the ground if they need to. The defense has been playing unbelievable. And I'll tell you what, man, I think we all believe that Michael Parsons was good, but I think we're starting to see him step into greatness. And then hearing people talk about him, his teammates, talking about how much he loves the game, how much he studies the game, and how he wants to make a play every single time he's on the field. Like, it just seems like this is the team, right? But how different is what I am saying than what we've said in the past? And this isn't being harsh. I'm just being realistic. So the Cowboys will always be legit. There's a security guard that I work with every morning. And during the football season, we have football conversations. He is a diehard Cowboys fan. If they win, he's smiling. If not, he's avoiding me. He has been smiling from ear to ear the last couple of weeks. And what I keep saying to him is, let's just see if you have that same smile at the end of the year, because that's when we can tell if the Dallas Cowboys are going to do damage. If they're stumbling their way into the playoffs, we're all hesitant. But if they're as dominant as they are right now, then yeah, the league better be scared.
All right, so Benny Scarano reached out on IG, and I was asking folks for questions, and he asked if this could be the year with the defense so good. Is it on Dak, or is that oversimplifying it, Nate?
It's on Dak. It really is. And the reason I say this is because there will be moments in the postseason where it's going to be on him. It's not going to be on Micah getting a sack or Trayvon Diggs getting an interception. It's not going to be on CeeDee Lamb taking a slant route 60 yards. It's going to be on Dak willing his team to win. Now, is Dak responsible for wins and losses singularly? No, not at all. No quarterback is. But the great quarterbacks take advantage of those moments. What have we seen over the last few years? When Matt Stafford needed to make an unbelievable play, he did during that ride to the Super Bowl for the Rams. Yep. Patrick Mahomes does it postseason after postseason, where there's a moment where we can literally take his hand and say, hey, write your signature on this screenshot. This is when you willed your team to win. So Dak is going to have one of those moments. And I just hope that this year he prevails, because I'm tired of this conversation. Is Dak part of the elite group?
Right.
Because if he doesn't win a Super Bowl, it's okay to criticize him just a little bit. Is he a good quarterback? Regular season good, even sometimes regular season great. Yes, yes, yes. But has he shown us he can be that guy that will say, regardless of what happens on offense, on defense, I am willing my person to win.
Got the Cardinals this week, should be 3-0 at week's end. Listen, 2-0, Dallas, Philly, Washington, all 2-0. NFC East, 3 teams 2-0 for the first time since 1989. Speaking of the Eagles, they go to Tampa on Monday night, and hey, the Bucs have let Baker cook. Mayfield's got them 2-0. They're not real, are they, Nate?
I don't know if they're real, but I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the artificial sugar. You don't really know if it's real sugar or not, but it's still sweet. So right now, let's just enjoy it, man. It's sweet because when Baker's doing his thing, let's keep it real. Like, we kind of fall in love with Baker all over again. We fall for the criticism, and then we jump on the bandwagon. Oh man, Baker's inconsistent. He's bouncing around. He turned into a journeyman. And then you see him winning.
Build them up, tear them down.
Well, yeah, exactly. But you know what I love about Baker is when he's playing well, the fans love him and his teammates love him. Like, the Bucs are having fun right now. Like, if you listen to them in the locker room post game, I don't know if you caught it. I'm pretty sure you guys did. Y'all got your ear to the street. He did that whole, like, let's see how many Drake references we can drop while we're talking about the game. Like, that's just dope. And then he got his other teammates to get involved too, to see who can drop the most references. Like, that is what good football is all about. Fun football is all about. I just hope that Baker can continue this, because I kind of do like Baker Mayfield in the league as a starting quarterback, because he doesn't take himself too serious. You know what I mean? And that's good for the game.
Pass rating of over 104. That's 5th in the NFL through 2 weeks. I mean, you look at what Cleveland spent on the first overall pick to get Mayfield, let him walk, then took the terrible PR and paid $230 million for Deshaun Watson to look average, less than average. Deshaun said this week, sooner or later. What in the good name of Eric Metcalf is going on with Cleveland? And can Deshaun do it without maybe the best back in the league?
Yeah, shout out to Eric Metcalf. That was a nice drop right there. I appreciate that, Jim. Yes, no doubt. He's a beast. It's tough. It's tough because you would hope that Deshaun Watson was going to pick up where he left off a few years ago in Houston, right? We all remember that year where Deshaun seemed like he could have been in the MVP conversation if his team wasn't so bad, where he was getting kicked in the eye, stumbling on the ground, keeping himself off with one hand, and then throwing the absolute sidearm bullet for a touchdown. And he was doing that game after game after game. And we're all waiting for that moment. We're like, all right, let's go, Deshaun. You have everything you need. I know Chubb is out, man. I hope he gets better. But you had a running back, right? You got wide receivers. You got Njoku at tight end. You got a defense. You got a coach. Like, Deshaun, come on. This is all the things that you didn't have before. I think it's okay to be critical of Deshaun Watson. Like, we can't be critical of some quarterbacks and others not. Deshaun, with what he's been paid, but I think more importantly, with what he has shown us in Houston, this dude should be playing better. I mean, when you're getting paid that much, you should be a world beater. I am a strong believer in the top contracts are the ones that should get criticized the most. If you're making $40 million, $50 million, you got to hit an open guy. You can't throw passes too short. You can't throw it too high. You can't be off target, because you are getting paid because you are supposed to be the cream of the crop. So, listen, if they lose a shootout and Deshaun plays well, there's no room for criticism. But if they lose by a touchdown or two and Deshaun missed a pass or two off target because he didn't throw the right pass or make the right read, I think criticism is warranted. So, yeah, he needs to pick it up sooner than later. I still think he can. I still believe he has all the talent in the world. I just feel like he hasn't caught his absolute rhythm yet.
All right, so let's talk about that. That's $46 million a year, and he's completing 55% of his passes. QBR, he's 30 of 32 qualified quarterbacks. Passer rating, 30 of 32. Only Bryce Young and Zach Wilson are worse. So when you said sooner or later, he said sooner or later, you've been in those rooms before. Is there, like, can you say, I knew there was a team that sooner or later we would click, or is that just a
Mm.
quarterback trying to buy himself some time?
Man, that's a really good question. I don't think I had a quarterback like that because Culpepper was an absolute beast when I got in the league. Then I went to Seattle with Matt Hasselbeck, who was a Pro Bowler. I went to Detroit with a young Matt Stafford. He was just a gunslinger. I mean,
Right.
he made a few mistakes here and there, but he was going to get the ball to you. One thing about Matt Stafford is he was a guy that was going to hit the bullseye every single time with the rock. So we didn't have to worry about that. Maybe dialing it back on like how hard he threw the ball because he felt like he could throw through a brick wall early on in his career, and he
Yeah.
figured out how to put some touch on there. But I'll say this: if I'm in that locker room, I am waiting for Deshaun to step up, and show out. And I'm looking at him with a concerned eye. And if I'm close to him, I'm pulling him by the jersey. Because if you're friends with somebody, you could come up to him and be like, look, Deshaun, F the money, F the record, F the criticism. I need you to play better because when you play better, we play better. When we play better, I play better. When I play better, I get paid. You got paid. I'm trying to get paid. Come on. Like it is a ripple effect. And right now, your play is having an effect on this entire team. And that's because I've seen you do it before. If there's guys that are close to him in that locker room, they'll say that. Now, let me be very clear. I know Deshaun Watson a little bit. We're not like text message buddies, but I'm pretty sure he's saying that to himself every day he looks in the mirror. So as much as we are criticizing him, like I said, which is warranted, I know he's hard on himself for sure.
All right, let's stay in the rooms because that's why we have Nate Burleson on this show. You know what
Yeah,
culture is like. Who's in
yeah,
more trouble? Justin Fields with the coaches or
man.
Steelers OC Matt Canada with his players?
Whew. I'll say Justin Fields for right now, because there was a lot of hype this offseason. You know, I know you were hearing the same thing I was hearing. Hey, Justin Fields, I'm hearing he might be in the MVP conversation. Hey, you hear what they're doing with Justin Fields? Yeah, they're going to do the same thing with Justin that they did with Jalen Hurts. Hey, did you hear about this offense, this new offense with Justin Fields? It's going to be well balanced. They're going to get him outside the pocket. He's going to utilize his arm, build read defenses. It's going to be fantastic. The Chicago Bears are back. No Aaron Rodgers. Minnesota's okay. Lions are trying to figure it out. Chicago Bears. And here we are. The offense is struggling. So Justin Fields is dealing with the unknown because we haven't seen him have a string of consistent games where we can say he's got it figured it out. And now there's been that conversation between player and coaches, which you never want to see. He comes out, he says, there's too many voices in my ear. I'm not playing as fast as I want to. There's certain plays where I should have tucked it and ran. And he says, yeah, coaches are saying too many things to me. I need to learn how to ignore a little bit of that in so many words. And then he runs into the locker room, gathers everybody, and says, whoa. I'm not taking shots at the coaching staff. I'm just saying it's on me. And you can tell when he is in that locker room, there was a lot of emotions involved because he was talking fast. It's almost like his heart rate was up. I honestly felt a little bad for him. I think Justin just has to go out the way that he wants to go out. And what I mean by that is moving forward, play your game. Because if you leave Chicago Bears, whether it's through trade, released, or at the end of the deal, they just don't re-sign you. If you're doing it their way, you can't say that on the way out. You can say, well, the coaches coached me up this way, and they wanted me to be this type of quarterback. That's why I wasn't successful. You know what? You're the starting quarterback of the damn Chicago Bears. Jim McMahon, that thing. You know what I'm saying? Put on a headband and some glasses, and even get a fade into a mohawk. Like, go out the way that you want to go out, play the way that you want to play. That way, there's no excuses. Yeah, the black mullet.
The what you're saying, without a doubt, is what I saw in that, and those two pieces of press con. And I feel bad for players all the time that media can be unfair, but I know when they start like pointing fingers at the media and second guessing themselves that's already taking place.
Yep.
What you want is the confidence. I had Connor McDavid on my old show. He's the best hockey player on planet Earth. And he told me that at a time when the coach lost his job, he had lost confidence and wasn't playing his best. And I'm like, this is the best hockey player on planet Earth, Nate. And he's telling me that he lost his confidence, right? And I don't think that fans like me, media like me, oftentimes understand that players lose their confidence at every level. And I thought I saw that in Justin Fields.
You make such a good point. Phil Simms, our resident quarterback, along with Boomer Science, and on the Sunday show, he told me never judge a player when he's hurt. And I would like to add, never judge a player when his confidence is rock bottom, to your point. Because, fans will assume that because you step on the field and you have coaches on the sideline and 10 players surrounding you, you should be at your absolute best. But there's so many variables. And right now, it seems like Justin Fields is dealing with those variables. And I would just say, listen, you need to turn a blind eye to all of the noise and just play your game. Play your game and see what happens.
Right. All right. We're in Nate Burleson's bedroom. We got to get positive here. We're not normally negative. We've been negative for a while.
We're not really negative. We're just talking ball. We're talking the storylines.
Yeah, we are. Right. But I'm gonna go positive here. Which rookie has been the most impressive to you? Puka Nacua, Bijan Robinson. I'm gonna throw CJ Stroud in there, who, despite having no O lineman, has averaged over 300 yards a game without a pick for a team that was supposed to be caca. So Puka, Bijan, or CJ?
That's tough. That is really tough.
Some real good rookies.
Yeah, really good rookies. And CJ is really doing everything that he can and showing some beautiful display of talent in that pocket. Bijan Robinson, there's times when I'm watching him and I forget what position he's playing. I know that we've talked about this in years past, that the league is turning into positionless players, whether you're running back or wide receiver. Even quarterbacks now look like they can play different positions. Yeah. But Bijan will line up as a wide receiver, and I'm like, oh, that dude's a wideout. There's no question. Like, what are we looking at here? And then they give it to him in the backfield, and Barry Sanders, somebody lowers the shoulder, breaks a tackle. I'm like, yo, that dude's a legit running back. So he's a hybrid. But Puka Nacua, like, who would have expected this? Like, Cooper Kupp is the guy. When he's healthy, he's getting all the rocks tossed to him. But Puka Nacua through 2 games, 25 catches, are you kidding me? He's already a record breaker. And I got to be honest, as much as I heard about him, I didn't know about him. But I'll tell you this, it's a combination of 2 things. One, him being talented. You don't make those type of plays in the first couple of weeks without you having absolute skill as a route runner and a pass catcher. But when you got a QB like Matt Stafford, we just talked about it a little bit ago. This isn't young Matt Stafford that's like, oh, I can throw this ball through a brick wall. This is older. He's the OG. Matt Stafford is one of the oldest guys in the league. So he knows not only how to throw every ball, but he knows what to say to a wide receiver to make them feel like the best version of themselves. So he's in a very blessed position. And I want to see this continue. 25 catch. If I caught 25 balls in the first 2 games of the season, I'm renegotiating my deal already.
Your career. Never mind the season, your career.
Your career. Big facts. So, I'm going with Puka Nacua just because it was so surprising.
You didn't even need toe drag swag. He's catching a lot of these balls in tough spots. Like Cooper. Yeah, like I love him too. Yeah, I love him too. All right, just before I let you go, give me a guy you saw as a rookie and you thought this just ain't fair. Like you were I don't care if you were on the field in the same locker, you were watching Pops play, you were watching with the boys, just a man-child that you looked out there as a professional football player and thought, dear God, this dude's skill makes me chuckle.
It was Ndamukong Suh. When I saw him as a rookie, he came in for the Detroit Lions, and I'm like, damn, this dude is big. Really nice smile. I mean, he's an intelligent dude, nice off of it. I mean, he'll have some very high intellectual conversations with you, but he would cross those lines, and it was like a monster inside of him came out. There was a switch. There was a darkness, man. I'm like, and I was here for it, but then there was a couple games where like my man got caught like suplexing the dude, stepping on some faces and crotches. And I was like, all right, whoa. We gotta rein this in. But still to this day, Ndamukong Suh is one of my favorite dudes in the world because a lot of guys fake the switch. You know what I mean? Like a lot of guys, they hype themselves up and you can see them sitting in the corner trying to get in character. Yeah, all that, you know what I mean? Latimer from the program, nah. But Ndamukong, like, he really was that. As soon as he hit those lines, it was almost like he would black out. And then when he would take his helmet off and his shoulder pads off, he was the same Ndamukong Suh, an absolute teddy bear, baby Huey. So, as a rookie, I knew that dude was going to be a monster.
Yeah, he was a monster. It's still like he's so on Twitter. He's dropping like financial knowledge
You
and
know
how
what I'm
to build
saying?
like.
He's
I
doing
love.
TikTok skits with his wife. He's a teddy bear. Hey, but
Yeah.
you put some pads on him, he gonna
Hey,
be a beast.
hey. In sports, as in life, our strengths are oftentimes our weaknesses. We just got to do a
No
little
doubt.
self scouting to figure it all out. The self scouting on this is I am enjoying Football Nation through 3 weeks. Nate Dogg, appreciate you and appreciate you dropping in and sharing the old bedroom with us for a second.
Yeah, this is where the magic happens. Hey. All right, brother. See you next week.